welcome to the Collider Supergirl recap show. I am Kaori Takee, and I am so delighted to be here to be talking Season 1, Episode 13, for the girl who has everything. And of course, I can't be talking all by myself. I've got some great ladies with me. On my right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Clarke Wolfe. It's nice to see you again.
And on my left.
Hey guys, it's Carli Garsow. I'm glad to be back.
And we're glad to have you back. She had her wisdom teeth pulled out.
I did.
So she's a Supergirl in her own right.
I'm surviving.
Don't forget, guys, you can always send over those questions and those comments all week long, anytime at hashtag Collider Supergirl. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a lot of our positives and some of our negatives as well. And then we are going to take those questions that you guys sent us using that hashtag Collider Supergirl. All right. So that being said, Clarke, let's start with you. What were some of your positives on this episode?
Well, there was definitely a lot going on in this episode, for sure. And, but you know, I really liked I thought that Melissa Benoist got to do a lot of really great acting in this episode. I mean, she had to play so many different levels, from being excited to being devastated and then being really pissed off, which I love seeing her do. I love seeing Supergirl get angry because I think she just does it so well, because she wears that lovely, you know, charming and kind, you know, she acts that way so much and so well, and so I like when she plays the other side. So that, I mean, overall, generally, I liked the performances. Alex was really strong, and I liked them all. They all played the stakes really, really high in this episode.
They actually got me worried for a little bit that they might not be able to pull her out, and it would have to move forward to another episode. Which, by the way, Carli mentioned that this would have been.
Yeah, Jeremy Jordan tweeted that this would have been the finale episode before they knew they wwere getting renewed. So it did have a finale feel, for sure.
After you mentioned that, I can totally see this being an ending. But I'm glad it's not.
Yeah.
But I thought, like you said, she had so many different faces to perform, and she did them all really, really well as Alex. But I also like that we had every kind of character play their own, you know, front. We had the importance of Winn, and he had to be there, even though they were struggling. And then also James had to be there. And it just showed that every character is family to her and not just like blood relative like Astra. So there's a lot of things going on in this episode that I really liked. And when you think it's over, there's something else going on. But I don't want to keep talking, so Carli, go ahead.
Well, my favorite part of the episode was Alex. I felt like her performance was so strong, and she was like the center of this episode, probably because Kara was like under, so she wasn't really awake for a lot of it. So Alex really shined. And then I also really liked James in this episode. The past few episodes, he's kind of been bothering me. Like, I've really liked Winn a lot more. And then this episode, I felt like he just turned it around for me. I don't know what it was, but I really liked him as a character. And then I liked how it had a Wizard of Oz type feel to it, like the whole time, even before they said there's no place like home line. It had that whole feel in such a classic movie.
Then that's funny that they said there's no place like home.
Well, I think they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And also, I was seeing on Twitter, like, a friend of mine, you know, he didn't know about the comic book that this storyline is based on, which is an Alan Moore comic. And he said, do you think that they're kind of like taking this old idea from the X-Files? They did an episode like this, and then there was the Wizard of Oz. And then I was also thinking about Buffy. Like, there was an episode after Buffy had died and her friends like pull her back. And then she comes back and she was like, I was in heaven. Why did you guys pull me back to this horrible place that I hate? And so I love these types of episodes on genre shows, because I think it really adds weight to the fact that these heroes, they suffer just as much as they, you know, as they have to be upbeat and save the day.
And struggle. Yeah. And I mean, like I mentioned before, it wasn't just her close friends that had to surround her and help her get out of this, but they had to take out Maxwell Lord, you know? They needed his help too. And even Astra had to come and help. And it just showed how important it was and how much she's struggling internally. So I just thought it was a really solid episode.
It wasn't my favorite, but
really, it wasn't my favorite. But I mean,
it wasn't even in my top three. I'd say. But
I think I teared up twice.
Yeah, I got it a little
the
emotional.
Astra part was very emotional.
Oh, the Astra part was really sad, or even the part where she was realizing that she was really not on Krypton. That part was very emotional, and Alex was struggling to help her remember. That stuff was all rough.
It was a really emotional episode. I do think I was interested to see what they decided to do with Astra, though, and ultimately they killed her.
Yeah, that was shocking.
I thought for sure that someone, some way, was gonna bust out some kryptonite. In fact, when Astra was, kicking Alex's ass, I thought, oh, why didn't she bring kryptonite? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But boy, I just never thought that they would kill her in this so fast, because they love that actress so much, and she can only come back in flashbacks now.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a drag. But also something that we've sort of been paying attention to all season is that Alex isn't afraid to use her gun, and Alex shoots people, and Alex, she'll do the dirty work if she has to. And in this episode, she had to, and I thought that was. Like, how is that going to play out between the two sisters? Because Kara's going to find out.
Oh, she almost wanted to tell her in this episode. That's always an indicator that it's going to come out at some point.
Foreshadowing at its finest.
I will say, though, one of my other positives is watching John's pretend to be Kara or Kara and, fill in for her. But I didn't really like the interaction of Kara with Kat in this episode. And that was the first time I can say that in all 13 episodes, that Kat wasn't a very strong performer in this one for me.
Yeah, it was tricky, because I think I felt like all the stuff that was done at the office in this episode was weird. It felt very out of place, considering that Kara is on Krypton and we're back at the DEO and we have all of this other stuff going on. Like, it just felt like, why don't we cut all of that and then get to what the real meat of the story.
It kind of just felt like it was made for comic relief, because there's so much intense emotions running around with other kind of storylines.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, but then it kind of just made you more upset, because Kat wasn't herself, I felt like.
She was really aggressive. She was angry.
She was angry.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of happy in this episode.
I'm surprised she didn't get fired. That's what I was thinking. Okay, maybe she'll lose her job or something. So, any other positives that you guys wanted to bring up?
Well, I like the fight sequence at the end.
I
thought that, again, I love when Melissa Benoist gets to really be angry and do all of that stuff. And I thought that the fight sequence with Non and her anger was really cool. And, they're using different techniques when she's flying and, assaulting him. And I thought that was really, really neat. And then, of course, the drama that came along with, Astra was about to kill Jean, and then that didn't happen. So anyway,
I liked seeing Superman.
That was
nice because we haven't seen him back in any shape or form in a while. So even if it was just him as a child, it was nice to see.
It was in our fantasy as well.
And we remember that casting announcement when it came out, and everybody was like, "Oh, Superman's coming!" And it's like, yeah, but an 8-year-old Superman. So let's all just calm down for a second. It's not what you think, Superman.
I think they do really well with the special effects in this show, and I commend them for how beautiful Krypton was.
I was just about to say, Krypton was a huge for me, and I love the little gadget that they were playing with.
I didn't really like it.
Really?
I was
the design?
disappointed. Yeah, the design.
Really? It felt like kind of how I would imagine being an Egyptian queen or something, in a way.
Yeah, I could see that.
Their outfits were amazing.
The clothes were beautiful. The costumes were great. I really liked Krypton. I'm glad if nothing else, we got to spend a little bit more time there.
Yes. And we have a Twitter question coming along with that, so we'll bring more of that later. But let's talk about some things that didn't really work for us, aside from Kat. Carli, go ahead.
Well, just for me, the whole episode was it was kind of slow moving, but then it would hit you really hard, and it was just very random and honestly hard to follow. Like, I felt like I was looking down at some points and looking up and being like, what did I just miss? It was just very hard to follow, which I felt like if it was going to be a season finale, it should have been straightforward and to a point, and a little bit more action should have been happening.
I see what you're saying, because for me, I kept thinking that the end was the end, but then there was a whole other segment. So it, in a way, kind of dragged, but at the same time, I was happy that it was dragging, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, exactly, because it would hit you with something interesting, and then you'd be happy, but then it would also just kind of I don't know, it just had the weirdest feel. It didn't feel like the rest of the episodes for me.
I think maybe because you're right, it was a finale.
Yeah.
Or it was intended to be a finale. And so it feels almost like so much is getting stopped. I mean, we were talking about that after it ended. that could have been potentially not only the end of that season, but the end of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been it. And that would have been, I mean, thank goodness it's not, but that would have been a weird place to sort of let everything go.
She has the same taste in food as me, by the way. Ice cream and dumplings. I'm like, oh yeah. I would join that party.
Delicious. I also wanted to mention, I know I mentioned this in a couple episodes past, but I really needed them to remind me what their stupid plan was. Like, I still am having trouble with this.
Oh, Astra and
yes, they're like, okay, I obviously understand. I heard them, and obviously, you know, even Supergirl doesn't exactly know what some of these code words mean, and then we know they have 6 locations around the city. Like, whatever, I get that. That's not my question. My question is like, they need to remind the audience why humanity needs to be wiped out so they can save the planet.
Yeah, you're right.
And
they didn't address that at all.
And there was a moment where Astra was like, you know, we need to do this and this is going to happen. It was so general and broad. And I was like, guys, we haven't seen, like, writing staff, we haven't seen them in 3 episodes. There's been a lot of other stuff going on. Please remind your audience who doesn't remember.
I'm sure they probably will be better because now that Astra is gone, they're definitely going to highlight Non. I mean, I pretty much have no doubt he's now the current badass of the rest of the season because Maxwell Lord is kind of trapped. And by the way, that's one of my negatives. Maxwell Lord, for someone who's such a badass, he was kind of not that badass.
That was one of my negatives too.
Me too.
It didn't make any sense.
It didn't.
I mean,
just like when he became a villain, and we were all like, "Where did that come from?"
Yeah.
Like, they just put him back in his place, like it was no big deal.
Yeah, it was because, and obviously, the show did go out of their way to, make the point of enemy of my enemies. So, like, that's why you have to help us. Plus, we have you trapped.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the fact that he was just chilling the whole, like, okay, I'll help you, and not be, I don't know. It just, he had Supergirl's life in his hands.
Yeah,
he had Alex's life in his hands. He could have easily tried to meddle or do something and accomplished his mission, and he didn't.
Because he wants to get rid of Supergirl.
Yes, I mean, and he's been so bad, meaning like not quality wise, but like he's been such a villain these last couple episodes. It was weird to me.
Yeah, that was probably
weird.
something that didn't fit well with me. So anyway, but yeah, I think Non is going to be a really, really important character because she was never that angry in all of these episodes. She's got some rage, and he thinks that it's obviously, I'm pretty sure he's going to blame Astra's death completely on her.
But I'm wondering too if we're gonna find out that Non was a bit of a climber. I mean, meaning like we know that he acted like he was really upset when Astra's body was there in front of him. But he disobeyed the general. They were married, and clearly he was trying to like put one over on her when he released the Black Mercy in the first place.
That's true.
And it was like they had that tense moment of are you really trying to are you talking down to me? Like, I'm the general. Are you questioning me? And he kind of pushed back, and their relationship was very strange in this episode. So,
like, he was trying to take over at times.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
and when she was lying there dead, I mean, he put his forehead to her, which was sweet, but wouldn't you be just hysterical if your wife just died? It was just a little bit, he seemed to just want to be like, on to the next. Like, now what are we going to do? Like,
Because he's evil.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was almost like he kind of assumed she was going to give in to her family and die.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the Black Mercy, just itself? What do you think of the plant, the special effects, and the poison that it causes?
I mean, I thought it was kind of cool. It looked a little,
cheese,
a little
right?
rubbery to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looked a little. It was like it was like a chest burster from Alien, but not.
I wish that when it finally left her body, it kind of exploded or something.
That was so weird. It just like
just
kind of
walked away like a
crawled
spider.
away.
Yeah.
And Maxwell Lord's like, whoops, dandelion or something. And then it was just like, what? It didn't disintegrate. It didn't do anything cool. We never saw them try and trap it. Like, hello, DEO. Somebody maybe put that in a box or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was weird. I liked the name, but the thing itself, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like half flower, half spider. What is that? I mean,
What did you think of it?
I thought it was really I thought it was kind of cool and scary when I first saw it, but as soon as it hit the table, I thought it was a little cheesy looking.
Like under the light.
Yeah, but in terms of what it does to someone, it is pretty scary. And that Alex had to risk her life to go in there to convince Kara that that's not reality. It's
well, and I was also thinking too. Now Alex has spent time on Krypton. I mean, that's strange. Like she's been there with Kara's, a family of origin. She's been there with Kal-El when he was a child. She's been, and even though I know she clearly wasn't really there, but I mean, I wonder if that's going to play out at all, like in the future. If
Yeah,
I love the line that John Johns gives Alex when he says, "You're her Supergirl," because it's so true. Because for us, every time she doesn't cease to surprise us of how strong and even though she doesn't have any superpowers, she's fearless, even more so than Kara. And Kara's learning a lot through her too. So, all right, guys, let's talk about some Twitter questions that you guys sent over with the hashtag Collider Supergirl. So let's bring on the first question. Bazinga Guys asks, did you like seeing Krypton on this episode, and would you like to see more Krypton episodes? Yes, I would.
I think I want to hear what Carli has to say.
Well, I wasn't a huge fan. I think it was just because I expected so much more. And maybe it was just because they were kind of in the enclosed room. Like, they didn't leave that room. So I would like to see more of the whole planet itself. And especially because I really like Astra's character. So I really hope we see more flashbacks so she can be involved. Because I liked her.
I see what you're saying, though, because sometimes the room, it felt like a set design change.
Yeah, it just felt, it almost felt like a play, like you were watching a play. It literally felt, it felt like a set to me. So I thought it was going to be cooler. I don't know.
I still really liked it, though. I don't know if it necessarily felt futuristic, but I'm okay with CBS's version of Krypton, and I want to see more of it, and hopefully with more players at it, and who knows, maybe not in a flashback. Yeah, right.
Time travel.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, time travel.
You never know.
All right. What?
Yeah, I liked it. But I do agree. I mean, they were very confined. But I think also I was thinking about this, while we were watching it, and their powers become heightened when they come to Earth because they're close to the sun. And so when they weren't like flying around and doing all that, it took me a minute to remember, like, that's right. That's not how it necessarily works. And so, so yeah. I mean, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I liked Krypton, and I liked the costumes, like the sets, I think costumes. We'll see more.
Yeah, I liked how different Kara looked, because we've seen her in that cape, in that outfit the whole season. Yeah. And then when she's at her work, she's always in those outfits. To see her in something totally different, and her hair was like naturally
on
curly.
Point.
Yeah, it was nice to see her totally different.
She looked like perfect. Like
she did look perfect. Yeah. She looked like a princess.
Yeah, she did. I will say though, when she was running away, because she was first like, I remember the word Earth. That part looked really futuristic compared to the rest. It didn't flow too well, but other than that, I really liked Krypton. So, next question. Beth, do you think this is the strongest Alex episode so far? Also, do you think it was right for John to take the blame? 2 questions in one, Beth. Smart girl. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if this was my favorite Alex episode so far, because I think she's so consistently great in every episode. But there was a couple episodes back. I think was it Red Tornado where Alex had to get a little, I can't remember, but I think she's great in everything, and she really sold those scenes where she was trying to fight for Kara to remember, and that was great. And I do think that it was right for Jean to take the blame. I mean, I think that I do. I think. I mean, not to say that anybody would have ever asked him to, but I think that was a noble thing. And I think part of protecting those 2 girls is protecting their relationship. And, Jean and Alex both know that what Alex had to do was necessary. It wasn't like she was doing it because she wanted to or out of spite. And so I think for Jean to protect Alex in the eyes of her sister, the way that he explained it, was really honorable.
I mean, I think at that very moment, yes, it was honorable and he had to do it. However, these kind of TV shows, it's gonna bite them in the ass.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I think in life in general, if you tell a lie like that, that's not going to work out in your favor.
So they need to take that with them to their grave, because I don't know who will slip that up, but I don't know how it's gonna come out, but it's gonna come out.
Definitely.
And it's gonna make one of them mad at each other, or even pit them against each other for a while. And that's something I don't want to see. But yeah, I understand why he took the blame. I don't really know if it was the right thing to do.
That's what I feel too. I get it, but like you said, it wasn't like she did it out of spite. So if she would explain to Kara why she did it, I think she would understand. But the fact that she hasn't told her yet is what's going to bother her.
That's such a fatherly thing to do, though, isn't it? Like, I'm going to protect my kids from, they're going to be my kids forever, and they're going to be children, and everything's going to be fine forever, and I just have to protect it. When really it's like, no, you have to be she has to be an adult. Like, they both have to be adults and tell each other the truth. I mean, look, I still think it was an honorable thing, and I'm not going back on that, but I absolutely see what you guys are saying, too.
I'm kind of curious to see if Kara, in the next future episodes, will be upset at John's for killing her aunt, because right now there's no repercussions. It's like, okay, so my sister killed Astra, that sucks, but now that she thinks it's John, she's like, oh, it's fine. Like, I wonder how they're going to play with that.
Yeah, that was weird, because they said she was really upset about Astra dying, and then the next scene we see is she's eating ice cream and seems fine. So, she's quick at getting over that kind of thing.
Well, she's happy to be back in her reality. And I think it was kind of cute how she had to explain, look, guys, the reason why in my fantasy it wasn't Earth, it was Krypton. I thought that was all cute.
Yeah, the ending was the best part, in my opinion. The music too was great.
What was the first question to that double
about Alex? Was this Alex's best episode?
I think it was her strongest.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I think she performed a lot of different aspects of Alex, and I felt that at some moments it was a little too emotional for me. Not her performance, but it was like, oh my gosh. But I get it. Like, when she's on Krypton, she's trying to save her sister, and she's almost going to disappear and back to Earth. I get it. But in terms of strength, I feel like I like it a lot when she has quiet strength, when she says things that mean a lot, but it's not necessarily forced. Like, she does that a lot with Maxwell Lord. So I can't really give Alex just one episode, because
like you were saying, she's great every episode.
I was just thinking about the Thanksgiving episode when she got drunk and told her mom to sit on a tack, and I was like,
that is when she's weak.
I love that. I love that episode.
All right, final question of the night. Michael asks, now we know the awesome news Flash coming to Supergirl. Do you guys think Supergirl will travel to Flash next season? I think first things first. Are we excited?
We gotta talk about the crossover. It's very exciting.
Of Barry Allen coming over to Supergirl land.
Although, I have to, confession time, I've never seen Flash.
Oh.
So I need to catch up.
Favorite
I need to watch it.
Oh, anytime you want to have a
marathon? We should do that.
He will become your new crush.
Seriously, I'm obsessed with him. I want to be with him. I love him, Barry Allen.
Yeah, he's smart. And anyway, that's
so
a whole
cute.
different after show.
So yes, we are excited that he's coming to the show. Definitely.
Yes, so excited. He's such a good superhero too, and he's so much like Melissa, I feel like.
Yes, they're both awkward.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they both have like that geek / superhero twist. It's not like Barry. It's not like Stephen Amell's character Oliver, where he's like, I'm a badass.
Yeah.
I'm still a badass.
He's like a model turned superhero.
Yeah,
it's just
like that.
It's almost a little awkward. So
well, and I love that. So I guess it's interesting because now we know that this would have been the pickup, because this was something that people were asking about from the beginning. Would there be a crossover? And everyone said no, because the networks and blah blah blah, and how would it make sense in the timeline? But I think because we have these extra 7 episodes or however many episodes, lucky us, because they're making it happen.
Yeah,
in season 1 too.
Do you guys have any predictions in what capacity Barry Allen's going to come visit?
I honestly have no idea. But did you know that Grant Gustin loves Superman?
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he's like obsessed with
right.
him. He said when he was little, he used to wear a Superman cape around all the time and never take it off.
And now he gets to be a superhero.
I know. I think that's so great. So now I get to be on Supergirl.
That's so cool. I wonder if he's going to be a brief love interest, depending on where she is, or
where he is too.
And where he is too, or if he's gonna know that she's Supergirl and vice versa, or
Yeah.
are they just gonna cross and kind of be like,
Yeah, it's a good question. Like,
yeah.
how much interaction will they actually
Yeah.
have with one another? Will it be? Because I remember when like Buffy and Angel would cross over, and they would have a lot of. It would be like important.
Yeah,
you know,
for
it wouldn't just
sure.
be a wink and a nod. So I don't know.
The Flash Arrow crossover
Right.
is a consistent
those
thing
are-
now.
yeah.
So
but they've already like laid the ground for that.
yeah, they really have.
Yeah, for us, we have no idea what to expect with Barry Allen and Kara meeting. But that second question in that Twitter, do you guys see it going the other way around? Supergirl and Flash in season 2?
Yeah, for sure.
do?
If this goes well,
Yeah.
if people respond well.
I don't know if they can. I would be very curious to figure out the idea of like a character from the CW coming to CBS. If characters from CBS can go over to the CW.
Do you think it's harder the other way around?
Yeah, that I don't know why. I have no reason to think that. Like,
it's
you know,
CBS.
I don't really, like intel. But
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's this network, and if they're more protective over their characters or their, I have no idea.
Could be.
Yeah. I think you have a good point. It's, simply if it goes well.
Yeah, if the fans really like it.
And I think
why
maybe
not?
if this goes well, they might actually have maybe Arrow. But the thing is, I feel that Supergirl and the Flash are a lot more lighthearted.
So much more lighthearted and similar. Arrow is really different. than
Arrow's
both of them.
dark.
Really dark. I love it. Love it. But
No, it's good.
It's dark.
There's like
Damien.
a grave, and you're like, who's in there? You know.
It sounds very dramatic.
It's
but-
very dramatic.
All right, guys. Do you guys have anything else to say about this show before we kiss our audience goodbye?
I'm just glad that this was not the finale.
Yeah,
I really am. I think we've seen a lot of really cool ideas and seeds be planted throughout the first 13 episodes, and I'm really glad that this is not the end. I think there's a lot more in store.
And I always want to tell our viewers, for those who are iffy about Supergirl, I hope that it's changed for you, because for me, every episode has gotten better and better as the characters developed and as you grow fond of everyone. And then, you know, you got new people like Maxwell, and Astor died. So, I mean, this is a great start, and we've got, 7 episodes left?
Yeah. Or yes.
Yeah, 7-ish, right? And yeah, I think for me it changed with Red Tornado. That was like
Yeah.
the crossover point where
That was when she did the eye thing, right? Yes.
Yeah, it was just
I
like,
did like
okay,
that one.
they've solidified this, and I agree. I think the show's getting better every
And-
week.
It really is.
I can't think of one character that I can do without, except for maybe Lucy. But
Yeah, she hasn't been around lately, so that's cool.
all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping over, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. But also, you can follow all of us. Where can they follow you, Clarke?
They can follow me. Hello. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope at Clarke Wolfe. Clarke with an E, Wolfe with an E, and YouTube.com/official Clarke Wolfe.
And Carli.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Carli_Garsow.
And you can follow me right down there at Kaori's, Kaorious. And go follow me on YouTube as well, because I started that off. And again, don't forget, hashtag Collider Supergirl is the hashtag to get us going with a conversation. And we'll talk to you next week for some more Supergirl.